What are you going to do?
What are you gonna 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 do?
I don't know yet. Dear Professor, I wanted to reach out to you because next month I'll be graduating from MSU, and as that date gets closer, I'd like to be intentional with the time I have left. I recently had the idea to complete a personal reflection video project. It was born out of my lack of a clear plan for post-college life at the moment. I find that people are constantly asking me, what are you going to do, when they hear that I'm graduating? As someone who is unsure of what I'm going to do still, this can feel like a frustrating question, and it seems like I don't know yet is viewed as not good enough or a disappointing answer. But I don't think that this should be the case. Even though I'm not sure about what I'm going to do, I feel confident that who I am has been drastically shaped by my college experience in many positive ways. I believe that should be viewed as tremendously valuable. I can answer the question, who are you now that you're graduating, much better, but I don't think our society focuses on those types of questions enough. Don't get me wrong, I definitely would like to have a job lined up soon. But even if I do, my job will most likely change in the future. I think who students are when they leave college is important because it will be more lasting and ultimately shape the many things they will eventually do in their career. So, I made a list of classes that impacted who I am the most and wanted to ask those professors the question, who do you want your students to be after taking your class? I would appreciate any input you have to offer. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to meeting with you soon. Sincerely, Hannah.
I want students to be, after leaving the classroom, to just have a sense of preparation, that they're ready for whatever path that they want to take. I meet so many different students throughout my time, and students have a very structured path, others have more of an abstract path, and I want them to be prepared to go down whichever one that they choose.
The two things that are probably most important to me are a sense of curiosity, so actually caring what other people are like, and then a sense of empathy, so that not only do you know about other people, but that you actually have some way of thinking emotionally about what is their life like.
I want my students to be the same people that they are, but I want them to see the world in a very different way. I think that students come in thinking of the world as a very sort of it is as it is kind of place.
To increase our amount of humility in our communication, because so many people walk into a conversation assuming they already know everything. My mind's already made up. I already know everything that that person's going to say. I have a mind like a steel trap. I don't miss anything that happens.
Be curious. Be happy with what you have, be judicious in the things you learn, the things you do.
I would very much like students to be what I would call engaged citizens of the world. And for me, the world means wherever they are, whether that's their local community, their state, their region, or I mean, many students now, of course, even doing things internationally. And when I say engaged, students who not only care about their communities, but who also are informed about their communities and neighborhoods, and hopefully, ideally, would actually even work to change the things they'd like to see changes made.
Culturally competent, which of course is part of our mission here at the whole university. I hope they would feel more comfortable interacting with people different from themselves. I hope they would feel more skilled in doing so, more aware of doing so, more willing to do so.
And so I think sometimes in class we do that by trying to learn about people, but social sciences are tricky because we often are up here like at the structural level, and so it can make it seem very abstract. So I think the real challenge is to try to make people connect with ideas or think about things that have influenced other people's lives that could potentially be transformative for their own lives.
They should question the way things are and try to change the way things are. And so I think of students coming in as thinking that they know everything and leaving realizing that they know very little. I have often said, if you are more confused when you leave this class than you are now, it will have been a success.
To be big critical thinkers and not just accept the way things are, but to think about why things are the way they are. How did they get to be that way? And if in fact there may need to be some changes. Obviously our nation and our planet are going through a lot of different changes, particularly in terms of being polarized and how we think and how we view the future. And I think with the increase in demography, in terms of how we see diversity changing on many different ways, students are open and accepting and willing to be a part of what I call the brave new America, the brave new planet.
You're going to be exposed to so many points of view, and you are one of the people with a point of view that is also trying to persuade others, expose your point of view to others. And I think if we, as a society or as individuals, if we circle the wagons and only listen to the people we already agree with, then we're shutting ourselves out. We're cutting ourselves off from the richness of the world.
It's really easy for people to go around in a little bubble and only interact with people from similar racial backgrounds, socioeconomic backgrounds, gender, all of those factors, and just to kind of stay in circles. And so I hope that after this class, students would be more aware of, that's something I'm doing and I didn't realize I'm doing it.
Not moving to places of stagnation, but to find their way and never stop pursuing. There's nothing wrong with having a challenge with knowing who you are or answering those questions to figure it out. The only problem is if you stop pursuing the answers to that question.
And don't bust on yourself. You're young. You've got a lot of time to make good career moves, to recover from bad career moves. It's all part of the great adventure we call life. And if I can help prepare students to do that, I don't really care where they work the rest of their lives. I just want them to be happy and fulfilled.
Thank you for the gift of people who I now call best friend. We shared rooms and thoughts and open hearts gleaming. I found comfort in homes where a welcome would always extend. Infinite conversations and questions of purpose and meaning. There was a time when I thought you would never truly end. But here we are, the finish line. It's complete. I have grown remarkably. The thought of us parting is now bittersweet. I want to take it all in and not leave so carelessly. Who do I want to be? Humble, open, and curious. I learned many lessons, perhaps the most important, to be engaged in the present, to be happy for this moment, how mysterious. But when embracing this idea, I was most content. Our years together, though challenging, were glorious.